Hey guys, Joe here with Doji Trading, and tonight we're going to take a look at the support system bot for Discord. Basically, this bot is awesome. It has a great ticketing feature as well as voice support that I feel was definitely worth making a video for. So I hope you guys really enjoy. Now we are going to go through this step by step to help you figure out how to set this all up for your first time. So just go ahead and follow along with me and we'll get this implemented together. All right. So first things first, I went ahead and made a server. I'm pretty sure that you already have a server, but if you want to test it, this is a great way to do it. As you can see up over here in the left-hand side, I have some basic just text channels, chat, banner and icon, blacklist, example. We'll go over these in a bit, but that's just kind of like bare bones. And then I have general support where you'll be able to create a ticket. You have a log for the tickets, open ticket, just a little example area. We'll kind of define this a little bit later on as well. And then we have support. Now you have a waiting room and live support. And I really feel this is where the support system definitely takes off, because this was a very unique feature that I noticed in here. And I feel like this could be utilized in a lot of different ways. So together, let's go over it all. So the first thing we want to do actually is go ahead and get the support system integrated into our Discord by inviting him. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap on over. And what I would like you to do is just go ahead and go to google.com and go ahead and search Discord bots support system. Now, the very first one that should pop up should be by top.gg. And this is the link that we're going to go ahead and want to click. Once you go ahead and click this, it'll give you all the information that you need on support system, as you can see here. You can go down and read it, do whatever you like. But what we want to do is actually go ahead and click on this invite button, because we want them to join us in our server. Then after that, it's going to ask you, for the firstborn and all that fun stuff. And then you're going to go ahead and pick a server that you want to add it to. I'm going to go ahead and add it to Mr. Miyagi's server. Go ahead and click continue. And once again, it's going to ask you for all this additional information. It's not a big deal. Everything looks good. Go ahead and click authorize. All right, so the very first thing that does pop up, which is very nice, is a little tutorial thing that they have for introduction, which I find to be very useful, because again, you're pretty much watching a video on how to set this up. So if you didn't see this video, you do have another one to follow up with, which can be found right here. Pretty simple video. It does give you the basic instructions of setting it up, and I wouldn't overlook it. I would definitely recommend that you take the time to stop by and, give it a like. But once you went ahead and watched that, go ahead and click on dismiss. And now we are in our general UI, the support system UI. So here's just some stuff you can go over. Your guild information right over here pretty much gives you all the information about your guild, / Discord. And then you have your general guild Discord settings over here as well. Now you do have your custom prefix, so if you don't like the exclamation point, you can go ahead and change that as well. To me, it doesn't really bother me. This is kind of what I prefer, so we're going to go ahead and use that for the sake of for the rest of the tutorial. Nickname, change the bot's nickname in the guild to whatever you want. If you don't like support system, you can change it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the nickname for the Discord bot, and I'm just going to go ahead and change it over to Captain. And then I'll go ahead and click save. And what's nice about this is that in real time, it actually goes ahead and changes it. So if we go back on over to the server, you will see right over here that it went ahead and modified it. So that's up to you if you want to change it. Do as you please, but let's go ahead and jump right back into the settings. Now we're going to go through a basic setup as well as just a slightly more advanced one with a little bit customized features, but it'll just give you a basic feel of how this operates. So the very first thing that we want to do is come on down to general. Now, who are the people that you want to be able to utilize these tickets? Who can manage it for you? So I'm going to give it to the mod. Go ahead and allow that to select. Go ahead and select add. And then I'm going to go ahead as well and give it to my support. And go ahead and click add. So now I have 2 roles that I went ahead and entered in here that are ready to use. Now, if for whatever reason you realized, let's just go ahead and go back just for example. And we go ahead and add a new role. So let's say we're in here, you jump in the server settings, you come down to roles, and you're like, oh, I forgot one. I need to make a new one. We'll just do man. Don't know why. It just seems very simple. Man. Okay. So we went ahead and made man, right? So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Now, if we jumped right back over into this right here and you clicked on it, you're not going to see it. It's not going to be an option. But if you do come up to the top of the browser and you just hit enter again, just to refresh it, or F5, whatever works for you, and you do select it, that role will show up and you can go ahead and add it. And now you're good. Always click the save and you'll see right over here with this green icon that, you'll know that the information has been updated. Now log channel. Log channel is very good because that's simply where all your information is going to go once your tickets are either opened or closed. It just gives you a running log of everything that's pretty much happening on your server. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and I'm going to put it down to log. Click on that and click on save. All right, so that's some basics right there. Now we're just going to go ahead and shoot straight on down to panels. All right. And what we want to do is go ahead and create a new panel. Now this is where you actually create like a template for your ticketing system. So the new panel name, I'm just going to call it, let's call it TOS template, just in case it was a term of service. And then the channel or a panel message. Where is this message going to go within the Discord chat? Well, I want this to go into, we will go into the regular chat. So let me just go ahead and put that in chat and then click create. All right, so we had a nice little create. You heard the little chirp. Let's go ahead and jump right back on over there. And this is the TOS template. So we can see right here that it did pop up. It did show up in the chat area right over here. And this is where it's at. Now you're pretty much out the box ready to go. So if somebody did have an issue, they could jump in here and go ahead and test it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to switch over from Mr. Miyagi to OneSyn. So let's just go ahead and do that. And here we are looking at it as though I'm a guest in this server. So if I wanted to open a ticket, I could simply click on this and a ticket gets created. So a ticket was made by OneSyn. And if I clicked on it, there's nothing specific about it, but the ticket has been made. So it says new ticket. Hello, OneSyn. Our staff will be with you soon. In the meantime, please describe your issue further. I need help. All right. So first things first, what does this little lock do? This little lock basically just means if we want to close a ticket, I can go ahead and click on that. Maybe I don't want it open anymore. And this little writing pad with a pencil is how you claim a ticket from the support team. So if jumping back on my other one, we're going to go ahead and take a look. Now we're down here and we see that in my server, a ticket has been opened by OneSyn. Now, right out the gate, you're going to say, well, I don't like how the ticket opens up here. I want it to open somewhere else. Well, we'll get into that in just a moment, but let's just go over the basics first. So I click on this and I can see that there is an issue and it shows that he needs help. And I'm just going to say we fixed it. All right. And now you have two options on how you can close the ticket. Now I did kind of jump a step because you can go ahead and claim it. So just in case there are other people that are in the server that are moderators or support readers or whatever it is, you want to claim the ticket, you're just going to go ahead and click on it and it states that it's claimed. That means I own the ownership of that ticket and I'm going to go ahead and service that member to ensure, that it gets taken care of. So if it does, if you're finished with everything, everything's good and gold, you have two ways of closing it. You can either click on this lock and this will go ahead and give you some options. This green check mark says that, hey, everything was resolved. And the X basically means, hey, nothing was resolved and it's still open. Maybe somebody else can go ahead and take a look at it. So if I was to click this, this pretty much just goes ahead and closes it down. Or you can go ahead and type close and then you can give a reason. So I went ahead and closed it out. Everything goes back to normal. We take a look at the log. Ticket was closed. Ticket OneSyn, no topic. Mr. Miyagi, reason all good. It's all what you need right here. Now you can download it from the actual, if you want like a transcript of it, you can go back to the regular UI and get that, but we're not going to go into those details. This is just about setting it up and kind of getting it operational. So jumping back over to chat, this is what our template looks like. So let's go ahead and make this just a little bit better. All right, so let's come on right back over here to the UI and click on edit. So now we have this already done. Click on edit. And what we want to do is just kind of go down these settings and take a look at it to see if there's anything that we want to customize. So let's go ahead and try with general settings. Now, if you see a little diamond here, that just is for premium. If not, you do always have these little question marks, which is very helpful because it does give you a very simple and yet detailed explanation of what they pretty much mean. So you'll find a lot of help in those question marks. So ticket channel or channel name is ticket/creator name. So when you saw that we created the ticket, that's exactly how it's created. It's a ticket-1send. If you want to change any of this information here, anything that's in this box right over here, all you want to do is just come on down to right over here where it says supported variables. Take a look in this section by clicking on it, and it'll give you some of the additional information you can use. Now, this may look a little overwhelming at first if you're unfamiliar with it, but just simply read it over and it'll give you an idea of what each one of them do. Now, maybe you want a running number. You can always just take this portion right here, Control C for copy, or right click and copy. Come back over here to channel name and add that as well. So now it'll say ticket and then the ID number as well as the person who created it. Just make sure that whenever you're done or whenever you make a change, go ahead and click save down here in the lower at the bottom of the page. All right. So not suitable for work tickets. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't found a purpose of this yet, but I'm going to leave that there. So general settings is pretty much done. If you want to set a ticket limit for how many times somebody can open a ticket, this is where you're going to do it, but I'm not going to change that. I'm going to go ahead and go down to messages and we're going to go ahead and go to the edit panel message. I'm going to pop this up. Now, author and author icon are unchangeable. If we jump back, well, instead of jumping back, let's just click this need help button, which is really nice. So this right here shows you exactly what the default message pretty much looks like. This is the author. So that little author section that we saw right over here is where that would be if you're a premium member. This is the icon section. This is the banner section, title, as well as description. And this is the footer. And I believe this little blue bar is the hex code. So it does give you a very good breakdown of how it operates. I find this very useful and user-friendly, so I hope you do as well. But in case you forget, this is where you can find it. That's right here in the need help section. Now, it says title, paddle name, icon, description. If you want to change the description, you're going to go ahead and do so right here in this area. But what we are going to do is go ahead and add an icon and a banner, because I thought that was really nice to see how they did that. So let's go ahead and jump right back over into Discord. And what I went ahead and did is I created a text channel for banner and icon. And I simply put my banner and my icon. My banner is here, my icon's here. So in order to use them, all you have to do is click on your picture, click on open original. And what it's going to do is it's going to load another web page for you. Now, once you get that web page open, just go ahead and copy the URL that's up here at the top on the web page. Close it, and then come right back over here to where it says icon, Control V or paste, and then go ahead and click apply, and then save. So now by doing that, let's go ahead and jump right back into the Discord. I'm going to go ahead and close this down. And it looks like I jumped into my other one by accident, but it's okay because it pretty much gets the point across. So there you have it. There's your icon. A really nice, clean feature that I thought was very nice to have for free. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was a very cool thing that they went ahead and added. So, you know, it does give that flair there. So that's a nice little feature. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add the banner. So let's just go ahead and jump right back in here. Oh, I apologize. Let's jump right back in over here. Do the exact same thing. Go ahead and click on it. Now you might be able to just copy the link. So I'm going to try that. I'm just going to go ahead and copy the link, and then I'm going to go ahead and go right back over in here. Go back to edit panel message, and then where it says link to banner. And it looks like that'll work as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply. And then we're going to go back down here, click save, and then we are going to go back into Discord and take a look. All right, so we're coming back over to chat. It looks pretty good. Well, I mean, not this particular lineup in specifically, but you could add something like support or whatever the purpose of this ticket message is. So that is how you get this set up. Now let's look at a few more features real quick. We're going to jump right back over into the UI, and we're going to kind of keep going. So I don't have edit new ticket message because I'm not a premium member, so I can't go over that with you guys, but maybe eventually I will be. Reactions. So if you don't like the little mailbox letter, you can come on over here, click on edit, and you do have the ability to change it to one of the emojis that they have here. Again, what's really nice is that it does update automatically. So if I was to click on this, then come on down here and click on save, and then we go ahead and jump right back into Discord, you do see that it does update cleanly, quickly. And that's very important when you're kind of, jumping between browser and Discord, just making sure that stuff is done in real time. So it's very nice. It's very nice to see that they have quick reaction times. All right, so let's jump right back in to the UI, see what else we got here. So that covers reactions. Let's look at categories. So the ticket category is where do you want the ticket to show up when it's created. Now, when we look back at the bot, or the Discord server, it was initially created somewhere up over here, created at the top of the list, right? So if we come back over here, you'll see that it actually says on top of the channel list. Well, we don't want that there. You probably want to find a home for that. So go ahead and click on this list. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring this down to open tickets. Go ahead and click on that. And then always again, come down here and click on save. All right, that's done. Categories are done. Let's go ahead and go to roles. Staff roles, pretty much everything that we set up originally. We have the mod support and man, spectator roles. Now spectator roles is actually kind of cool because if you just want other people to be able to see them, but not necessarily edit them or delete them, this is what you're going to want to have. So maybe a mod in trading or something. Spectator roles are roles which have access to ticket channels created using this panel, but they cannot close or rename them. So that's nice. If you do have something specific, this is kind of where you'll be able to curate that. Now let's come down to mention settings. Enable mentions, yes, because all that does is pretty much notify any of the roles that you have selected to mention that there is a ticket that's open. So that's nice. Delete mention messages and then mention the creator. So pretty much everything gets deleted and they let you know who made it. Nice little function and feature here. Ticket claiming settings. Do you want to be able to claim it? Yes. If not, turn it off so that nobody has to claim it. Not a big deal. Ticket topic. Now this one, is good because like that TOS template, obviously that's a terms of service issue. So, you might want to type service issue or concern or whatever it may be. And then make sure you come on down here, click on save, and you're good to go. Logging settings, log channel. It does say no channel selected, but we are going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and adjust that back to log. Click on save. I know we set that a little bit earlier. This might just be specific to the template, so we'll see what happens when we change it. We'll come on down to permissions. Looks like everything else here is fine. You want to go through these and kind of change the permissions, go for it. I find that by leaving it alone, I'm perfectly good. Automation, close on leave, that's a premium feature. Supported variables, and then we're pretty much done. I'll click save one more time and I'll go ahead and back out. So we have the TOS template. Let's go ahead and take another look back at the actual server itself. I am going to go back on the other one and we're going to go ahead and look at it in its final form. So TOS template, react to this message to create a support ticket. And there we go. So now you can see that it dropped down to open tickets. This is ticket 0002. It's created by me. And I am back in action with my concerns. Now you can see that the mods, support, and man all got mentioned because those were the ones that we had set up in the option on the support system UI. So everybody gets mentioned and we're good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop back down into the owner of the server so we can see how it looks like. And you can see that I have this example one here and I have it locked. Now the reason why I had it locked was because I needed a place for the tickets to fall once they got created. Now this may not be, you may not need to have it. You may just be able to have the category and then have it drop in there. But for some reason I was having issues with it earlier. So I just went ahead and made an example one, made it a private. And then after that, I just went ahead and dropped in the tickets into this category. So there you have it. Everything looks like it's running good. I'm going to go ahead and close it out the way we did not close it last time by clicking lock and then coming right back over here to the check mark and then shutting it down. So come back over here to the log, gives us the information that we went ahead and had, and we're good to go. Let's see what else we got. So let's go ahead and jump back over to the UI. Okay, well, actually, before we do, what we're going to go ahead and talk about now, something that I was very excited to talk about, and that's the waiting and live support. Now, this I thought was very, very cool for two reasons. One, it gives you that live feel that you're going to talk to somebody who actually cares. You're not just going through the whole typing fiasco back and forth. I mean, you get to actually talk to somebody, and that just shows as a Discord server, as for your community, you care a little bit more. So it's a nice feature. Number two, After we go over how to look at it, I'm going to give you another way of maybe utilizing it for your Discord. So let's go ahead and see this in action. Let's jump back over to the UI. And here we are. So we're going to come right on down here to voice support. Click on the waiting channel. Now the waiting channel is basically when you're in the waiting room, right? Where do you go? Same thing with you're pretty much in queue. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And we're going to click on waiting because as you can recall, just down here, we have the waiting and live support. So the waiting room, pretty much, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to wait for a live person to come and service you in the live support. So let's go ahead and go back. And we have that set on waiting and then the finish channel. What do you want to happen once you're done talking as a support with your customer? Where do you want them to go? Well, I want to kick the user. It doesn't kick them out of the Discord. It simply kicks them out of the voice chat. Go ahead and click save. And that's good to go. Now the voice support channels. Where do you want them to go after they come from the waiting room? Well, I want them to come to the live support. So when they're done with this, they are going to shift right over to live support. So it's really empty here. We need to make sure we add it. Don't forget to click this button right here. And then we have live support, and it went ahead and saved that for us as well. Now enable notifications. This is really nice because you can get notified if somebody is in that waiting room. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And then the notification channel. Where do you want it to go? I want it to go into, we'll just put it in log. And do we need to mention the staff? No, we'll just do that. We'll click save. You can also, it looks like from the premium, assign them roles, which is also really cool because then it can kind of lets other people know that they're in queue. Because what happens is at least by the way that it was explained to me, if you join this in the waiting room and there's more people that keep joining, you get queued up. So it does keep a line for you, which is a nice feature. So we went ahead and saved those things. Let me just go back one more time to make sure there was no other saving area. And it doesn't look like there is. It looks like we went ahead and covered it. So let's go back over to the Discord. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the non-owner one. And we are going to go ahead and jump into the waiting room. All right, so I'm in the waiting room. There's no mic, nothing like that. We are, I guess, queued up. Added to queue. You've been added to the voice support queue on Mr. Miyagi's server because you joined the waiting channel. Please be patient until somebody can service you, pretty much. That's a really great thing. You know, I think that's a nice little touch. That's part of that notification system that we just plugged in. So we'll go ahead and jump back over here. And we are in the waiting room. That's great. So let's go ahead and go down to the bottom. Now on the bottom, you'll see that he's simply in the waiting. And in the log, it simply says, user joined the voice support, just joined the voice. Once in, just joined the voice support, waiting channel. Great. You can have them mention you, part of the notifications if you want it. You can have other things that you like. Good and grand. So he's in the waiting room. Does that mean I need to get into the waiting room? Not at all. Not one bit. So what we're going to do is go in as the admins into the live support. So now we are in the live support. Excuse me. So now we are in the live support. This is great. Now we want him to come into the chat. All right, guys, wait for it. Wait for it. This is where it gets fun. So exclamation point next, and voila. It throws him in my live support. Now that's really, really cool because you can have a waiting line of like 100 people, and well, I hope you have some more support at that point helping you. And then you can just transfer them into your channel one by one. And when you're done with everything that you need to do, you can simply add the next person in queue. Now I went ahead and did that. It hasn't done anything. Maybe there's just a bit of jet lag. Aha. So there is. So there are no waiting users who could be moved to your channel. So when he gets kicked out back to the chat because that's where we placed him. And let's go see if that took place. It did. So I'm still here in the support and he ended up getting kicked right back into the main chat room. Really cool. Great little touch there. Really fan of that. All right. So I did mention that how could this be used for something else? Outside of the fact that it's a great support system, it could be used for your server in many other ways. An example would be maybe you're a streamer and you play Call of Duty, or you do whatever it is that you do, and you run a point in your stream where you want to talk with or interact with your community, but you don't have admins or moderators to kind of, take care of all the people that are trying to join. Well, you could always have a system in place for them to jump into the waiting area. And then after that, it pretty much queues them up. It queues them up for you. And then you can just type in next, get them in, chat with them, and then kick them out. So I find that that's a very useful feature that may overlook its potential. I think that it just has a lot going on that people can definitely use it for if they think outside the box. So, take that into consideration. Same thing with like a radio host. Maybe you do radio podcasts or something like that, and you want to bring on some callers or something like that. They can all jump in the waiting room. You don't have to just manually select them and then bring them over. They can just wait, or maybe you could integrate that with a raffle that isn't a part of this bot, but maybe if you had a raffle bot and they want tickets, and then they could join that waiting list in a different queue line. There could be all kinds of ways you could make that very, very cool to have for your server. So just another touch there. All right, let's go ahead and jump right back into this area here, into the support system UI. And that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think there's really much more we need to go over. Now, you do have a report set up. So let's just say somebody's acting crazy or wild. You can just report them. For this example, we'll just go ahead and let's go ahead and put one on there. I'll put it in example, and we'll click on save. And let's just jump right back over into this area here. Click on chat. I'm going to go ahead and report myself. You want to go ahead and make sure that you at them, and then you want to give a reason if you'd like to. So do happy guy. All right, success. The user has successfully been reported. Now, if you do jump over in time, you can see that it's still there. I don't know if that deletes. Aha. But you can see that, that guy did get reported. So it does show here, and then it kind of just goes away as far as on the user side, but whatever. Now, if we go back down to the admin side, you will see that in the example, he was reported, mentioned at 1 SIN. This is his ID number, name, whatever, reported by Mr. Miyagi. And the reason was he was a happy guy. Oh, that's a crime these days. Don't be that guy. So it does show how that can be implemented. Outside of that, I think that really covers everything that the bot has to offer outside of the support panel over here. This is where if there are any open tickets, you can go ahead and see them. It does have some other features and functions that you may want to go over at your own leisure. The documentation is very good. You can come over here if you feel like you want to go back over everything. We'll just go ahead and click on it. So it just gives you, it's kind of like a little wiki of everything that the support system bot does have to offer, as well as some assistance in setting them up, instructions and guides. It kind of gives you a little bit of everything that you need. So very useful to go over if you want. What I do recommend though, is if you want to get back out of here and back over to the dashboard, come over here to where your username is, click on it, and just go ahead and click on dashboard. Now it's going to go ahead and ask you what to do. Now I didn't know initially that this was an actual button, so I just kept failing this horribly, but just go ahead and click right on the server itself, and it will go ahead and bring you back home. And there you have it. That pretty much gives you a very, very basic rundown of how to use this. I hope this has helped. I hope this has cleared up some maybe concerns or questions you may have had about how to use it. But I definitely believe that if I was to be using another ticket system in servers, that this is probably the one I was going to go with, simply because it also adds that extra nice touch with your templates as far as like the logo design and things like that. So I think this is a nice touch. You can add this, you can do a lot with it, and the more panels you have, the better it could look. But I think it's worth mentioning, and I just like the customizable. And what I've noticed is that in their server itself, that they have their support server, they give away a lot, so it's a very community driven bot, which I'm very glad to see, because I think more people kind of need to be on that boat. And they definitely take the community interest at heart, and the people there have been very supportive. In fact, you know, if somebody's watching this video, they know for sure that they've already helped me out on some of the questions that I've had before. So I definitely recommend using this bot. I like it. And, you know, I definitely encourage you guys to give it a shot. So this is Joe with Doji Trading. I hope you found everything useful. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other.